What's going on, guys? It's Tom. I'm back with another video as the heat wave continues. Although it's not quite as hot, but it's starting to gradually, and we got some rain too. It really rained like 3 or 4 times in the last week or so. But anyway, on this video, I wanted to talk about. I recently renewed my passport, my U.S. passport while in the Philippines, and I did it all by mail. So I wanted to just talk to you a little bit about it and a little precursor here, and then I'll sort of go into the forms that you'll need to fill out and whatnot, and then I'll just go over them with you, some of the requirements and that. And then also, I will provide links to these. There'll probably be like 3 links in the description of this video that'll kind of help you out, take you to where you need to go, what website you need to go to. So, just some general information. It took about 8 weeks, okay? Once I like mailed it out, I believe, right? I'm trying to think, was it the mailing date or was it the date they received it? They received it fairly quick. You know what I mean? And I will recommend that I sent everything to them, to the embassy in Manila. I sent it via LBC. And I'm in Manila too, okay? I'm in Quezon City, so it's not like there was no airplanes involved. So I just sent it via LBC. I think it was like 200 pesos to send it, something like that, 190, I believe. And I would recommend that. Like, the embassy uses a company called Air 21, and that's fine for receiving the finished product. When they mail everything back to you, your new passport and everything, that's fine. In fact, they only charge 78 pesos, like COD. When you receive it, you have to pay the guy. I just give him 100, because, that's pretty cheap, and he's coming from who knows where, and it's like, just seems right to me, give him a little tip. But as far as, they don't have too many locations, Air 21, and I got 3 malls near me, and I'm in the city, so if there's not too many around here, there's not going to be too many where you're at, like if you're in some other smaller city in the Philippines. So I would just use LBC in my, that's what I would do to send it to them, internally, because you're going to be here in the Philippines at the time you're doing this. So, use a local LBC is a good courier to use. And I'll say this too, in case I forget. When you fill out the form, you definitely do want to provide a phone number, like a local Philippine phone number. So if you don't have a Philippine SIM card yourself, then hopefully you can use someone else's, who, like, either your girlfriend, your wife, if it's a Filipina, I'm assuming, right? Use their phone number, because when they deliver all your passport, when they send it to you, the finished products, they're going to text that number, and say, hey, we're on the way, or hey, we're close, we're 10 minutes away. You won't get a lot of lead time, but at least you'll get some lead time, and they'll tell you when they're close to your home. So definitely want to use, I don't think you want to put a US phone number in that spot, because they're not gonna, from the Philippines, they're not gonna call that number a US number, or text that number even. Okay, so just, use your own. If you have your own Philippine SIM card, great. If you don't, wife, girlfriend, or good friend or something, someone you trust, give it to them, or put that number down. And I think, yeah, it was about 8 weeks. I actually had made a mistake. I sent it out, and I'm pretty detail oriented, but for some reason, I filled out everything, and then I didn't want to sign it and date it until the day that I actually mailed it out or sent it out. You know what I mean? Like, I did it previously like, 3 or 4 days before I actually sent it out. So I didn't want to, I wanted to wait to sign and date it until the day that I sent it out. Well, I put it in the envelope and then I wound up just taking it over to LBC and I forgot to sign and date it. So I sent it to them and it got there and everything. You got LBC tracking and all that. You can track it. And they received it like quick. Like I sent it Friday and they got it by Monday, I think, or Tuesday at the latest. And about a week later, after they received it, I got a text saying, "Hey, they're sending me the package or whatever." And I'm like, how could they be sending it to me after 1 week? There's no way. Well, sure enough, they sent me back the original package that I sent them, and they said they had a note on there that you forgot to sign and date it. So I was like, oh, I felt like a moron. But it was only 78 pesos, so whatever. But so I signed and dated and went back to LBC, sent it out. Same thing. They got it quick, in a couple business days later, they got it. And from that point, it was like 8 weeks. So they say 6 to 8 weeks, and it was about 8 weeks. Okay, so let me just go over this real quick with you. I don't want to make this a forever video. Let's see. Let's go to these pages. All right, let's go over the eligibility real quick. And I'm going to have links to this, by the way. And in fact, this one page, they actually do their own little YouTube video about it, that you can click onto it and watch. But I'm just going to go over it with you. So in order to be eligible to do this by mail using the form DS-82, and then when you do that, you're going to pay your fee online via pay.gov, okay? And it's $130, by the way, from the Philippines. If you're in the Philippines, that's what you're going to pay to renew your passport for 10 more years. Now, by the way, I didn't wait until the last minute on this. I mean, I started this process like maybe 6 or 7 months before my current passport is going to expire, right? And then by the time, even when I got it back, it was in April, so toward the end of April. So it was literally about 6 months before my original passport was going to expire. That's when I received back the new one, So you don't want to wait until the last minute or even until less than 6 months prior. You want to maybe do this 7 or 8 months prior to your passport expiring, okay? So that's important, especially if you're planning on traveling, fairly soon or whatever. And by the way, that 2-month, 8-week thing, that's like just regular mail, regular, no rush or anything. There is a way where if you think you're going to travel, like, in a fairly short time, like within a month, you can, I don't know, you probably have to pay extra. And then there's a way that they can send you a temporary one or something like that where you can use it if you totally had to travel. You know what I mean? Like you had to go home for some reason or whatever, for example. So there are instructions about if you need to do that. But if not, then just do the 8 weeks, do the regular, time frame. All right, so in order to submit this by mail and get your passport renewed by mail, you have to be able to say yes to these following 6 questions, okay? The first question is, I can submit my most recent U.S. passport book by mail with my renewal application. Second question is, I was at least 16 years old when my most recent passport book was issued. Third question, I was issued my most recent U.S. passport book less than 15 years ago. Fourth question, my most recent U.S. passport book has had a validity of 10 years from issuance to expiration. Fifth question, my most recent U.S. passport book was issued in my current name, or I can document my name change by submitting marriage certificate, divorce decree, court order with my passport application. And the final question is, I currently reside in and or have a valid mailing address in the Philippines. Okay. And as far as that name thing, you definitely want to use the exact name that you used on your last one to avoid any complications or errors. You know what I mean? I use, first name, middle name, last name. And I did that, of course, with the new one too, because just keep it the same. You know what I mean? Like, don't, unless there's some reason that you actually changed your name already, then you follow the instructions that I just gave on that fifth question. And okay, so let's see. And then it says if you don't meet the criteria, then you must instead apply for a new passport and make an appointment in person at the either the embassy in Manila or the consular agency in Cebu. Then, of course, it says 6 to 8 weeks it takes, for the renewal by mail, if you're eligible to do this. Let's see. Yeah, it says like if you need to immediate international travel, we may be able to issue you a limited validity emergency passport. Please schedule an appointment to do so. And there is an email on here, but I don't know. You'll see it because I'm going to provide this link. So, some of these emails aren't, you're not going to get a lot of back and forth with them. It's a little bit lacking in that regard. And there was one of the phone numbers for the courier that they used also didn't even work. So that's why I say it says that you can use their courier and then maybe you'll get a discount on the shipping or something, but I recommend using LBC, because they're all over the place. The LBC offices are like, there's a million of them here, they're in the malls, they have freestanding offices, buildings, or in strip malls. They're all over the place. I don't care where you're at, Okay, so then the payment method and details. So it says if you will renew your passport via Form DS-82, you can pay the adult passport renewal application fee of $130 online on pay.gov via ACH, bank account transfer, but they also do credit, debit card, PayPal, or Amazon Pay. This amount cannot be altered. You must pay the fee in US dollars. And then it says we no longer accept US dollar demand drafts for mail-in renewals. I don't know what that means, but it works. I mean, and this is the first thing that you got to do before you fill out the application. You got to pay, okay? Pay online, and then have that receipt, that verification, that confirmation, and then you'll fill out the the actual form itself, the application. Use your current legal name. And let's see, it's encrypted, the PayPal, the pay.gov site rather. And after paying the fee, you will receive a confirmation email. Please print out the electronic payment confirmation. Include the printout in the package you send to the embassy. And then it says how to apply. Well, obviously, you verify your eligibility. You visit the pay.gov site and you make the payment. You print out that payment confirmation. That's the third step. And then the fourth step is complete the DS-82 application form, including your signature and date, and attach your 2x2 photo. Okay, that's another thing. Now, I happen to have a couple of extra 2x2 photos that were recent, so I was able to just, they actually want you to staple the photo a certain way. They give you directions on the application where there's a little square for it. They don't want you to glue it. They want you to staple it, like on the edges or whatever, That's kind of interesting. Anyway, and then the fifth step is mail your payment confirmation printout, your signed DS-82 application, your prior passport, your photocopy of your prior passport, proof of name change if applicable, and your 2x2 photo via email or courier to the U.S. Embassy in the Philippines. And it says, don't include a return envelope because they're going to use their courier, Air 21. And then it just says you can use any courier you want and, blah, blah, blah. Well, I already told you, just I would recommend using LBC. Now, I took all kinds of pictures of my passport, like they say. I took the picture of the page, the important page that has your picture, name, and all that stuff, all your criteria, your on there. I took a picture of that, but I also took a picture of the visa stamp pages, the actual passport, like the cover, the back, everything. I provided more than I needed, just in case, right? Because you're dealing with the government, and it's mostly the U.S. government, but it's an embassy that's in the Philippines, so keep that in mind. And then here is the mailing address, okay, for all that stuff. And let's see, passport team. This is who you mail it to. Passport team, American Citizens Services, Consular Section, U.S. Embassy, 1201 Roxas Boulevard. That's 1201 Roxas, Roxas Boulevard, Manila, Philippines, 1000. Or Manila 1000 is what it says. And then, I don't know, you can put Philippines on there, I guess, if you want after that, just to clarify or whatever. And then, as far as receiving your renewed passport, you should receive it by courier within 6 to 8 weeks of approval. I actually got it about 8 weeks from the actual mailing, not from their approval. And then it says your previous canceled passport will be delivered together with your new U.S. passport, along with any original documents you submitted. We are unable to process requests for expedited passport renewal services. Okay, that's what it says here. That's because if you're doing this, I think, you have to already do that. You need an appointment to do that if you want to get your passport quicker than 8 weeks. So this wouldn't really apply. And then it says we suggest you use a trackable courier service to submit your application packet to us and all that, which is a given, right? And you can also there's a status check page for this process that I'll also have a link in the description for. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, now they say that they're going to send it 2 separate mailings. They're going to send you your new passport in one mailing, and then your old passport and all the supporting documents that you sent in a second mailing. But I got everything in one mailing, and it was basically just both passports, the new passport and the old passport. I didn't get it the supporting documents because there was really nothing unusual. It was just the application and the pictures of the passport. I don't need that stuff back. I mean, I have copies of my completed application that I downloaded. I saved it on my computer. You know what I mean? So I don't think there's going to be a second mailing for me, but anyway, there could be, in your case, depending on how much stuff that you had to send them, So that is about it, guys. Yeah, I mean, it's got like the questionnaire is pretty basic. Like I said, I'm going to have a link to it, but it's like name, uh, last, first, middle, date of birth, place of birth, phone number, mailing address. Now it also has, the passport information, like your current passport information. And then it's got like I said, also there's one where permanent address. So in other words, As far as permanent address, I still maintain a U.S. address, so I put my U.S. address here. But that's not my mailing address. You know, the mailing address is the Philippine address. I also put they asked for an emergency contact. So I believe I put my brother on there, I think, in the U.S. Um, and that's about it for that. And then, like I said, there is also a status page, which is pretty easy to navigate, you know, and I'll send you the page, you know, also. So, but that is about it, guys. That's 20 minutes, but I hope you found this helpful. And please like, comment, subscribe, and share if you know somebody that might be find this information useful. And have a great day, guys. I'll talk to you later. Take it easy. Hey guys, how you doing? It's Tom. Listen, I just wanted to add this because I forgot to say this in my video, my passport video. There are two major improvements, okay, with the new passports as opposed to the old, compared to the old passports. And one of them is that it's 50 pages. They give you 50 pages in the new passports. My old one had only 27. Okay, so that's almost double the size. And then the other improvement is that, you know, the page, the important page with your picture and name and information and birth date and all that stuff on the new passports, that's like plastic. I mean, it's like front and back. The whole page is like plastic. Not only that, but there's like a second copy of your picture. There's like the picture, and then above it, there's like it's almost like, I don't know what they call it, but it's superimposed on the page above it too. You know what I mean? The picture. It's kind of lighter looking, but you know, it's there. But the important part is that it's plastic or waterproof. So if it gets wet or something, yeah, maybe your regular, you know, the pages will get wet and then you'll have to dry them out. But at least that page, you can just wipe it off. I mean, it's all plastic. In the old passports, it's like sort of, it feels like it's somewhat laminated on the front, but not on the back of that main page. Whereas this is all, it's like plastic, you know what I mean? So that's a good improvement. So anyway, excuse me. Just wanted to add that to the video just so you guys know. And that's about it. I'll probably do a video on the restamping also when I get that done. To have my SRV implementation page put in there, you know, into the new passport. And then I think they carry over the stamps too, you know what I mean? Like if you tell them, hey, just carry over all my previous stamps, you know, in order, you know, or whatever. I think they do that, but I'll find out. And then when I complete all that, that's going to take at least another month or two. I'll do it through the PRA, but when that is done, I'll probably do a video on that, and it won't be as long, you know, it'll be like 5-10 minutes probably. So, all right guys, that's it. I'll see you later.